see that Wednesday was kind of like that. You know,
Yeah.
I collect. You know how you collect points on these cards, and then I had some money on it from blah blah blah, and I was saving for the big redemption in the fall.
Right.
Somebody hacked my card and spent my money. I
Oh
mean the
no.
points. I had like $120. Now I had to change all the passwords, call these people. I spent, oh my God, I was so I still didn't get the points back. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still in the
This
progress,
is your
but
your credit card.
no,
Your
it's
credit card.
like it's a points card. Like
Oh
there's those points cards that you
yes.
kind of and you collect points,
Yes.
and then it's like basically money just in
Yes.
points, right?
It's
Anyway,
I think that some of that has me we'll get to astrology in a moment, but I'm saddened
yeah,
by the amount of corruption and stuff in
yeah,
this world. It's
yeah,
just it's
yeah.
like I mean, yeah, but there's always been corruption since you got
Mm.
four humans on the planet. You've had corruption probably, but now it seems to be just at an all-time high where there's a scam and people trying to get something for nothing everywhere you turn.
Mm. Yes,
And
yeah, it's sad. I agree. And it was such a hustle because you had to spend time and it just.
yeah, yeah,
But anyway, so that was
yes.
it. My kid had a rough day at school. He got in some kind of fight for the first time ever.
Oh, but did he have
So
his
that
birthday party already? Did he have his
no,
birthday
no,
party?
that's next
It's
month.
next
We have it on the
month.
June
It's
7th.
next. Okay, this June. Okay.
Yeah, but he also had that was all on the Wednesday. And then for work, I couldn't log into some portal. The customer paid on the wrong bank account. It was just, I don't know. It was like,
No, it felt like I was telling someone. It felt like we had a Mercury retrograde or something else going
yeah,
on. It just felt like
yeah,
things were combative. Things were fighting one another or not speaking with one another.
yeah.
It's yeah.
But Moon square Jupiter can do
Oh
that, right? Because
yeah.
it's a square,
Square.
and Jupiter makes it all bigger than it is. And it
Hmm.
was in Virgo, ruled, both Moon and Jupiter were ruled by this Mercury in Aries, which is very feisty. We
Yes.
forget Mercury is in Aries until tomorrow.
Oh,
I can't
good.
wait for him to go to. Usually, Mercury in Aries is a good thing, and I love it. But I think we had so much Aries energy, so much that we need a break. We need more stability, and
Yes. This
so
goes
I
to then
think it's gonna.
it goes to Taurus. It
Yes,
goes into Taurus, right?
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning, 8:15 Eastern time.
Hey,
Uh,
okay, good.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna. I know we have a full moon on Monday, but I also want to focus on this Mercury in Taurus, and let's read about Mercury in Taurus because
I
he's
have
gonna
Mercury in
speed through
Taurus.
Taurus.
I actually
Yes,
have Mercury in Taurus. Hmm.
yes. Those are I call these people who have Mercury in Taurus. Those are the people who can study. You know, people who have discipline and persistence to study slowly, and because Mercury in Gemini just quick, let's go
Yeah,
glance. I don't want to spend
yeah.
much time, but Mercury in Taurus takes his time to know the subject, and I like that. And I kind of wish I had Mercury with all my Gemini. I wish Mercury Mercury was in Taurus. So I really really like it, and I'm gonna read about just some of my notes. Um, because we have a feisty weekend ahead, I have to tell you, and
Oh,
the full moon is going to be feisty on Monday. So, um,
hi, Southern
yeah,
Carolina. Hi, hot Southern California. Okay, and this in this
yes,
country, it's Mother's Day weekend this
yes,
weekend on Sunday.
here,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Canada as well.
Canada too.
Yep,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. So be kind to your mothers. Don't need to get into fights with mothers because it can be, you have like a lovely Mother's Day brunch or something, and all of a sudden, some kind of resentments come from the past because Mercury is going to square Pluto.
Oh,
Yes,
see,
and so that could be manipulation, like on a lower frequency,
and communications.
manipulation,
Yes, yeah,
right?
things that are hidden and so on.
And
Yikes.
and yeah, and it's fixed. So when we fixed, we don't,
Yeah.
it's my truth. Like this is the correct thing.
Yeah.
So that can be a little bit. Okay, just a
And be
second.
kind to your
Where am I
service. So
not?
for those of you who go out for
Yes.
Mother's Day brunch or whatever, that is one of I used to many years ago. I was a server, but I'm always friendly with people who serve in restaurants because I dine out a lot by myself, and and I'm always nice. And they say, oh, the worst holidays for them are Easter, and then the worst is Mother's Day because of it's just because they have to deal with the familial
Mm-hmm.
tensions, and then sometimes it's taken out on the wait
Mm-hmm.
staff and the expectations, and it's just so take out, tip them well, be kind to them, don't take it out
Yes.
on them, you know.
Yes.
They have families too, and
Mm.
things to deal with it, that they maybe have to also deal with. But yeah,
I like that. I like that. So
yeah,
that's your Jupiter in Virgo talking, I think,
that's what it is. Yes, the
So,
service,
because
the
the service
service.
is important for you.
Yeah,
Yes, I like that. Okay. So, Mercury in Taurus. I just want to quickly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm going to focus on full moon, but
no, take your
because
time with this. This is important. This is important.
it's going to go fast through Taurus. So he's going to move to Gemini like in 2 weeks already. Let
Oh,
me take a look because he's very fast now. After retrograde, he's very fast. Yeah, so he's moving in Gemini on May 25th. So only from May 10th to May 25th, he's in Taurus. Literally 15 days,
okay,
very quickly
okay.
moving, which is some kind of paradox, going quickly through Taurus, which is so
Yes,
exciting.
that is interesting. Yeah, quickly to Taurus. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So so Mercury in Taurus is very practical,
Hmm.
very deliberate. Like it takes time to do things, right? But it's solid thinker. It's looking for that as well. Um, uh, I think they're very good listeners because they don't react right away.
Mm.
Usually, Mercury in air or fire reacts right away. It doesn't
Okay.
listen. I feel that Earth Mercuries are the best listeners because they have a capacity to take things slowly and take time and understand the practical side of it, and to actually answer a question or to have a conversation, you need to listen. I think the Earth Mercuries are the best listeners. um, um, Water Mercuries can be led by emotions, so they are not, they can be also good listeners, but um, they won't be so practical as Earth. When you have a Earth Mercury in the conversation, they're very practical. They give you advice, a good, like a very rational,
Hmm.
very realistic conversation. Like I like that. We need
Okay.
that. Because Air Mercuries are just thinkers and blah blah, and they're fast. So I like it. I know Mercury is not comfortable in Taurus because he's fast.
Hmm.
Taurus takes time, but as I said, for studying, for taking, for taking time to understand things, for taking time to gather information before you make decisions. So there is a lot of good in this, right? That
Yeah.
we kind of, um, disregard. So I like it. I'm trying to find a positive spin on it. They can be slow thinkers in a way that they need time to process information. So don't force during this time when Mercury is in Taurus. Take your time to process information before you make a decision.
Okay.
Don't force it. Don't think it has to be like. Take your time.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
that would be. Also, a Mercury in Taurus always feels, because it's ruled by Venus. He looks at values. Like, is this information valuable to me? Is this conversation or idea valuable to me?
Oh,
So it kind
okay.
of aligns a little bit with your value system as well.
Yes.
So
Oh, that's good.
so think
Good
about that.
insight.
So yeah. So it can be it can be a lot about aligning your ideas and thoughts with your values
I
during
see.
Mercury in Taurus.
Right.
Okay, so that can be a topic. Because Taurus is very sensual, it's very earthy, it's very about your senses. So maybe your thinking process can be, let's say if you are stuck with some thought or you're stuck with some idea, maybe you can use your senses to make it work, like light a candle or listen to music, or use something that can help you go through if you're stuck with some
Oh,
kind of
that's good.
conversations, or
Yes.
you know so make it a little bit of what can make it
Yeah.
flow a little bit faster. Okay,
That's a,
just
yeah.
just a thought.
That's good.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what I had to say.
If I can add something, I find sometimes I
Yes, please.
realize at times I could learn things with extreme alacrity. I could see it be a subject and boom, I have it, got it. Other times it takes me a while to learn. It may not be a subject, but it could be a concept, and people are getting and they're moving on with
Mm,
it, and I'm like, huh? And I'm not getting it. Then I say, okay, explain to me again, and then I
mm-hmm.
get a little bit more, and then I say, no, I'm not quite there. So it takes me a few passes to get some, not so much subjects, but I realize there's certain concepts
Yeah,
that
like patterns,
I
like pattern recognition.
it could be that I'm not sure so much patterns because that's one of my
Mm-hmm.
things is pattern recognition. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of an example, and they're usually very simple things or very basic things too that people say you don't get, and then I do get it eventually, but I didn't get it way back when everyone else got it, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but important thing is that you don't have expectation from yourself to get it right away. So I
hmm
think that's the important thing with Mercury and Taurus. Don't have this expectation. Oh, this is going to be quick, and then you're going to be disappointed. You know,
yeah,
oh, I have this, or this is happening right now. I'm going to take time. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm going to take my time, and at the end, I guarantee you, when you figure out, you know it better than anybody else who figured it out earlier.
yeah.
Because
Well, typically I learned to break things down in my
yeah,
way. So I'll take it,
mm,
and if I'm not getting it, I say,
mm,
okay, now let me take it, and I break it down into components, and I reorganize it to the way that I get it, and then I get it.
yeah,
So I've learned to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But so yeah, I didn't realize that until years ago. When I started studying astrology about, I guess so years ago, I realized, oh, Mercury and Taurus. Maybe that explains why it could be a little bit challenging at times for me to get
yeah.
things.
But it's ruled by Venus. So where is your Venus?
Yeah.
That's also important.
Okay. My Venus, I think, is in the seventh. I forgot what my Venus
No,
is.
no.
I think
In
it's in
what which sign? Which sign?
Cancer.
Cancer. So there you go. So there's another emotional component or the way Cancer processes information is by emoting, like literally by feeling it. So there's another
Yeah.
component that you have the
I
feelings aligned, and you know
yes.
with this.
Yeah.
So or you need to care about the
That
information or the idea on an
that's true.
emotional level,
I do need to care about it. Yeah, that's a
right?
challenge. Yeah, that's
Right.
very much so.
So if you don't care about it, you will have really hard
Yes.
time learning it if you don't have this emotional
And
component in it. So that's why
will
it's
not,
always
yeah, I will
important.
not
Yeah.
record it. I won't record it if I don't care about it. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
So there's yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. Oh yes, I also have Venus in Cancer. So there you go. Just
Okay.
like all of us
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
but you think what is your Venus ruling? And your Venus is also ruling your Moon in Libra. So you have this again. Your
yes.
emotions are very about care and nurturing. We talked about it. So there is a how you process things. How you this is a lot about that, about Cancer energies actually,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, that's tomorrow.
Wake up.
Yes. So the whole weekend when the moon is in Scorpio, it's making hard aspects to Pluto and to Mars. So it's squaring Pluto and squaring Mars this weekend. So you know how um, we had this Mars Pluto opposition,
Mm-hmm.
and now this full moon is kind of the apex of that, right? We had it. We had it. Oh, it's not. No, no. Yes. Let me see. Chart. We had the new moon and apex.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
this one, just a
that
second.
new moon in
Yeah,
Taurus we
yeah,
had.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But this one, just a second. It's similar. And it's not an apex. Sorry, it's not an apex, but it's still it's squaring Mercury. That's why. Sorry. So it's squaring Mercury. The um that's the kind of the sense behind this full moon. And before it's full moon on Monday, it's going to square Mars and Pluto. So it's going to trigger something on this new moon. It's going to feel like the weekend before the full moon is going to feel like this new moon we had, right?
Okay.
So um, it's a lot of fixed square energy anyway, right? So again, no budging. Okay, let's go from the beginning.
Okay.
The full moon is happening at 22 degrees of Scorpio. So if you have anything between 19 and 25 degrees of fixed signs, which are Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo, it's going to be more personal. And this will trigger, because it's a full moon, it will trigger something that started on November 13th, 2023. So go back and see what was happening then. This might be now coming to light. To understand this full moon, it's all about Scorpio, right? Because it's Scorpio moon. What does Scorpio want? Scorpio is passion. Scorpio is intensity. It's obsession. It's a lot of feelings. It's going deep. It's emotional. Scorpio likes emotional connection, intimacy. It's nothing, superficial about Scorpio. It's the other way around, right? So on the full moon, Scorpio is very private, very personal. He likes to have things hidden. It's all about trust.
Private, very secretive can be. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good investigators. Very good researchers, investigators.
Yes. It's a lot about like forensics.
Yes.
Excellent forensics people, right?
Excellent. Yeah.
Auditors. Because it's connected with money, auditors, like if you're an auditor in Scorpio, like they can see, stuff like that. So on the full moon, there's a light coming out on this. So, and because Mercury square Pluto in this particular full moon, I feel that a lot of hidden things will come to the surface, a lot of secrets. It could be about betrayal. It could be about literally, because Uranus is with the sun, very close connected with the sun. So there's like unexpected things coming up, shocking, surprising news, surprising things happening. So don't be surprised. Okay. I mean, it's a lot of change. During these things, people can break up because Uranus is involved. So there could be some breakups or betrayal, breakups because of betrayal, or so that can be a topic on a negative side. It's very extreme, right? Scorpio goes to the extreme, right?
Yeah, they do.
So it can, because it's Uranus, it can be sudden changes, sudden breakups, sudden breakthroughs, sudden,
revelations.
Revelations. Yes, I do feel, because it's Pluto Mercury square, and I just feel it could be a lot of secrets coming up to the surface. That's how I feel it. There's going to be something secretive coming out, or something We'll watch the news next couple of days. Watch the news, see what's happening. Anyway.
Yeah, we have a trial in this country that was supposed to start today, or the jury was supposed to be seated, and it didn't happen. The Puffy Combs, or Sean Diddy Combs, or whatever his name is, and that's going to be a mess. So that is definitely what you're talking about. So, yeah.
I'm still waiting. Me personally, I'm still waiting for those Epstein things. They promised us, we're going to put up. I don't know. It's been more than 100 days. I didn't see those come out.
Yeah.
Anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
I do know what you're saying. Yeah, and I know why we haven't seen them too.
Yes. I know exactly. So maybe this can bring. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe
we could have leaks. We could have sudden revelations, which may not be from this original source we expected to see it from, but it may come from another source that may blurt out something that gets out, or something.
It was interesting that we have a new pope.
Yes.
I mean, the world has a new pope he's American. I think it's highly significant that he's from the US for the first time in history. I think that's very significant.
Well, he's the first North American pope. We've had South American popes.
Yeah. But I think the last one was the first from South America as well. Usually they were like from Italy or Europe, like that was, so I think that's also very significant.
Yes.
It's significant that he chose Leo as his name.
Yeah, Pope Leo the 14th.
During the Mars in Leo.
Yes.
There's some significance.
There's a lot of significance.
And he has also some black ancestry.
Haitian. I think it's Haitian.
Yes, or something. I think it's very
He's of mixed heritage.
interesting that
Let's put it this way: he's of mixed
yes,
heritage, and a lot of brown and blacks, whatever in
yes.
it, and so on.
So
So,
it's interesting, right? So I feel that
hmm
that it's very interesting that he, whatever happened. I think it's interesting. I think we'll see it's going to be during all this fixed energy. He's here as well. Very interesting. I don't know. Just watch out what happens here as well. What was I going to say? Yes, the good thing about this full moon that I kind of like is that because Mars is ruling Scorpio traditionally, and Venus is ruling Sun in this particular situation. So we have this Mars Venus kind of opposition always with Scorpio and Taurus about being assertive or aggressive or more receptive, but they're in a good position. So Mars and Venus are in a trine. So I kind of like that the rulers of this full moon are in a good condition. They like each other, but they're both in fire signs. So I do feel it's going to be some fiery.
yeah.
It's going to be very fiery. I feel it's going to be very fiery this weekend and this full moon. So next 3 days, really watch out, guys.
Okay.
And the whole next week is going to still have the effects after,
Okay.
So yeah. So the thing, the low vibrations of the Scorpio, because you know how they can stink, so they can and then they like to provoke,
hmm
and so you need to be careful if you provoked and that you don't say something. I
You
think I
don't let your
mentioned this.
buttons get pushed. Don't let your buttons
Yes,
get pushed so easily.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, so it can be like that. I mean, on a good side, as you mentioned, it's good for research, for digging deep, for going into your psychology,
Yeah.
working on that, anything,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, to even understand, like to even revise, maybe, do you really want to be in these relationships? Because it's always, full moon is always about somebody else. It can be, it can be also about finance. Scorpio and Taurus is about money, so it can be about, maybe you have some financial obligations you want to release. Full moons are release energy, right? So maybe your portfolio, maybe your investments, what is happening, maybe you want to, maybe something there. It can be, not just personal things or
Got it.
stuff. So
hmm
it's going to be very interesting to see what comes to the surface. Nevertheless, Scorpio is a survivor. He's the number one survivor in the zodiac, because they can go through crises and traumas and still really rise like a phoenix. So they are
hmm
survivors. So whatever happens, but I think it's also about trust and who do you trust? Who do you want to be intimate with? What is intimacy for you? There's a lot of things that you can
Yeah.
consider during Scorpio moons that you want to release as well.
Interesting.
Um,
hmm
Taurus usually calms Scorpio down. We have always this opposites. So you have to. Scorpio is very passionate. It can go deep and and then just Taurus just calm down, chill, watch,
hmm
take chocolate,
hmm
watch a movie, forget about this, intensity, right? So there's this, yeah. But as I mentioned, Pluto square Mercury is interesting for manipulation in conversation. It can be, Scorpio can be also passive aggressive,
Yes.
but it can also be magnetic. It can be magnetic, so it can kind of mesmerize you. Okay, you like hypnotize you. You know how
Hmm.
Scorpio he can, they can
Oh,
hypnotize you. So it can be like
they could
hypnotic,
seduce. They could definitely seduce you very well. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
in a hypnotic way that you're not even
Yeah.
aware. Like what is happening? Like you
Yes.
are enchanted, and
Yes.
that's the word.
Yes. Yes.
So think about, so then you're going to wake up after and oh my God, what happened? So there could be also a
Yes.
sense of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the topic of this, the whole situation. I was looking at which days are a little bit lighter. Uh, I don't know. So, what is the good thing of this week? The good thing of this week is that Venus is going to leave her retrograde shadow on Friday,
On
next Friday.
Friday.
So we are definitely into new territory. She's the only one still going through old things. And that's why maybe this full moon is still going to have this effect, because she's ruling the sun, of still not resolving the things during this, right? What started in the winter time when she went retrograde, right? Because she's still kind of digging. This is the last act of what was happening this whole winter.
Okay. So she's clearing
Yeah,
her retrograde shadow. And what
yeah.
sign? What
See,
will she be?
she's still in
She's
Aries.
still in Aries. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 10 degrees Aries, which is also an eclipse degree. So there's a lot of things still
Wow.
this week. She's going back to that degree that she went retrograde in. So anyway, so she's finishing up. So I think, when it's the last act, when it's finishing up, it can be also more intense, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So that's, but it's going to be, anyway. I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, last week. May is I feel it's okay month. The only intense week is this one that's coming up. This is after that, when we come to Gemini season, it's going to be completely different energy. So
Yeah,
this
you
is
mentioned that. You
like,
mentioned this week. You
yeah,
mentioned it before. This week
yes,
coming up would be a rough one.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I forgot it was that this week
yeah.
coming up.
So this is the week, and then after that, we're going to come to the new territory. It's going to be much better. But you just need to. I think this is the last one pushing through those harsh energies that we are having,
Oh
right?
my
So
goodness,
with the
they've been
Mars,
harsh.
yeah, with the Mars Pluto positions and eclipses and retrogrades and a lot of things happening.
Everything.
So the moon is in Scorpio. That's intense, definitely. When she goes into Sagittarius on Tuesday, Tuesday is a pretty good day. Okay.
Oh, Tuesday's a good day. Okay.
Yeah, the day after full moon, because she's in Sagittarius, trining Neptune, sextiling Pluto, and trining Venus and Mars. That's Tuesday, Wednesdays. Those 2 days are pretty good. I think those are the good days. I think Moon in Sag. The only thing that is going to be harsh is Thursday when it squares Saturn, because Saturn is now the only one in Pisces. We had Sag moons having a lot of squares when we had a lot of Piscean energy. Now we have only Saturn in Pisces. So everything else is now fire and air, and Sag likes that. So I think now the Sagittarius moons that are always optimistic, always full of expansion and adventure, I like that we have that. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday are good days.
And Monday's the full moon, so that's
That's
right, yeah.
oh
So
yeah,
that's
that
okay. That's that. We went over that.
yeah.
Okay.
So we have applying this energy of the full moon. So this weekend and this full moon is culmination of the, like 3 days are going to be like, and then
Yes.
there's going to be release energy. Yeah, it's going to be like release on Tuesday,
Yeah, I'm feeling it
right?
already. I'm feeling it
Yes,
already. Yep. Mm-hmm.
yes. Yeah, and then Thursday, the moon then goes to Capricorn. So Thursday, Friday, moon is in Capricorn. It's a mishmash kind of a situation because it's squaring Neptune, but it's trining Mercury and squaring Venus. I'm not too happy about that moon, but I like that Venus is leaving her retrograde shadow. So maybe on Friday we can, I don't know, you might feel a little bit better. Yeah. So, but still, the best days Tuesday, Wednesdays for sure. The worst days are Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Of this week, this week, yes, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thursday, Friday is kind of, but we're still going to experience some other stuff next weekend that we don't like. So we'll talk about it next week. Yeah. Overall, what would be my advice?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking a lot, what to advise people when we have this intensity. It can overwhelm us. It can kind of eat us up. Sometimes we get so, with the Scorpio, we get so emotionally involved in an intense way. We need to find a release energy somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go to the Taurus side.
Yeah.
What would Taurus do? Taurus wants to calm down. Taurus wants to take it easy. Taurus wants to enjoy life. So find a way, like nature. It's spring here in Northern Hemisphere. Go outside. Spend some time in nature. Just do gardening if you can, or just go in the park, or pick up flowers, or do something, or cook.
Yeah, go to
to get some
market. Yeah.
Yes, go to farmers market, make yourself a salad, but then do the prep work. Take your time, cut your veggies. Don't buy those pre-cut. buy the whole, you know what I'm saying?
You're funny. Don't buy the pre-cuts like we do that, Jasmina. We
Yes.
don't buy the pre-cuts.
Well, sometimes it's a crisis.
Sometimes you do. Of
So,
course we do.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the Taurus likes to enjoy cut your onion, like make a stew, and stew with hundreds of vegetables, and then you have to cut all of them. It takes a couple of hours.
Hmm.
People say, "Oh, this is such an easy recipe." It is easy because when you put everything in a pot, it cooks for 2 hours. Who cares? But you have to cut carrots and dice this, dice that. It takes time. But that's maybe it's also a ritual.
Hmm.
You know, that would be my full moon ritual for you. Make a stew, cook something that needs a lot of pre-cutting, like literally, or take a walk, or um, you know, remind yourself of the beauty. It's Venus. Taurus is Venus. It's
Yes.
opposite of,
Yes.
what is the beauty of what is really the beauty of around you.
Hmm.
Um, anyway, what does Scorpio find beautiful? Scorpio is the moon here. There's a light of Scorpio. What does Scorpio find beautiful? Scorpio finds beautiful sex,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, physical
Things,
contact,
things that
physical intimacy.
right, passionate things that bring
Yes,
that kind of really
yes,
fiery passion, not the soft passion, the fiery
yeah. But
passion.
it longs for um, like literally intimate one-on-one. You know how
Hmm.
there's no sharing, there's no kind of um, anyway. So think about positive things of Scorpio. Like I always have trouble with Scorpio and Capricorn because it's in conjunct with my Gemini placements, so I kind of
Oh,
don't know
okay.
that energy. So I had to, um, and the only planet I have is Uranus in Scorpio. I have nothing in Capricorn. So if you don't have any placements there, it's kind of
Hard to
maybe a little
relate.
harder to
Yeah.
grasp.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm. Hmm.
yes. But psychology, research,
Right.
investigating, you said something, something that you want to know more about. It's also about money. So if you want
Yeah.
to, take some time and see, literally how your finances, what is your portfolio? Do you need a financial advisor? You know, um, I don't know. Uh, yeah, but you could always, I think, with Scorpio, I always go to the negative side because they always go to the dark side,
But yeah,
But
but they also
Scorpio
like
is a
pursuing
positive.
things. But
Yeah,
they like pursuit too. They like pursuing
yes,
things. So
yeah,
if
yeah.
there's something that you need to pursue, this is a good energy because that scorpionic energy will help you
Mm,
seek things. They seek out. They're seekers.
yes,
They like
yes,
to find
yes,
stuff and they will unravel and get in there.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
not negative or positive. It's just they just have that ability.
yes.
Um,
I was thinking, I did a video last year with Hannah on YouTube about foods and drinks for each sign, and I don't remember what it said for Scorpio, but I think now that I think of it, it's licorice. It's black licorice. That's Scorpio
guys,
food.
so you guys do not like Scorpio, man. Gave Scorpio black licorice. Couldn't even give it the red licorice. Gave it the black one. Oh, that's too funny. I was thinking scotch or something like that or whatever, but no, you
yeah,
guys went there. Yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah. Hmm.
So
Well, I had a
think
I had a
something.
Scorpio husband, so I know. I had a Scorpio husband.
Uh,
So and I when I
mm,
meet Scorpio men, they
mm,
somehow they we like attract, and I'm like, oh, nope. There's an attraction, but it's not good. It's not a
yeah.
good. It doesn't usually end up well. So I know to say, oh, thank you, but no, thank you. Ugh.
Yet I find people with Venus in Scorpio, strong Scorpio placements, they have all these fetishes, not in a sexual way, but they are like, women like to collect bags
Yeah.
or shoes. Those are usually with a strong Scorpio placements, right?
Hmm.
They
Interesting.
like this little, kind of a, they have like a little fetish or something,
Okay.
if you call that a fetish, I don't know, about things. Because, it's opposite of Taurus. Taurus likes to collect things. So they also do it, but it has to have some kind of connection. They get obsessed and then they have these million
Yes. Well,
shoes and,
that's something that Scorpios can be
yeah,
obsessed.
yeah,
I
very
think
much.
about them as obsession. They're the
Yeah.
stalkers. They do
Yeah.
stalk.
Yes.
And
I
speaking
mean,
from
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Geminis need, I think that the main difference between Geminis and Scorpios is Geminis need freedom. And Scorpio usually doesn't like, no, it doesn't, it feels betrayed if you do not give all your time and love just to them. So they feel like betrayed, which is, I don't agree. But that could be the hard side of a Scorpio, right?
Yeah, they can
They
be
really
very
want
jealous
all of
too.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
want all of you. And that's why, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me try something. I need to find something positive
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Hold on.
I find them
Now,
attractive. I love scorpionic men because I find them very, because there's a part of me that
they're
likes
very
that dark side. Yeah, I like it. But then I realize, oof, once you
they're very
get,
magnetic.
they're very
They're very
magnetic. They are
magnetic.
magnetic. They are
Very
magnetic. That's what
magnetic.
it is. They are magnetic. It gets in their is they extract you in that layer, and then you're like a fly. Help me, whatever. I you know
Okay,
I can't
let's see.
go with them too much anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. My notes. They love to hide in dark
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
They're like they're
Hmm.
like cool dark places. Um, you know what? The Scorpios, they're very good. They have very great BS filters, and they're
Hmm.
great observers, right?
Yes,
So
they are. They
that's
are
why,
very good service. Yes.
like sitting in the behind the scenes and just watching what's going to happen. So they're very, and they can see through, through lies and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's very very good, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Self-reliant. They're really, that's also good. Um, what else? Like they are actually scared of sharing things, because they're gonna feel like, I think it's very that's why they're so private and secretive, because they're very vulnerable, and when they expose themselves they feel very vulnerable. They don't want to,
Hmm.
right? So they have a shell, just like crab, like
Hmm.
Cancer, right? Those are, yes. um so the deepest passion is about relationships and relating to
Yeah, there's some.
others, but it's also the deepest, fear. So that's why sometimes if you go from a fear uh, place then you're going to probably do something wrong. So that's if you have any Scorpios in your life, you need to establish trust with them. If they trust you, that you have a friend for life.
Yes, absolutely.
If you have,
They're fierce friends.
right?
They are fierce friends,
Yes,
very much so. They don't like
yes,
being on the. I have a Scorpio friend who, she, she's on social media, but she doesn't want to be seen on social media.
yeah,
She wants to be able to see others on social media, but she doesn't post
yeah.
anything. You know what I mean?
That is such a Scorpio thing.
Oh my
Like
goodness!
literally, that's so. I love it. I love that. Um, they like to surrender. They like people to surrender
To
to them. Like, what I'm saying. Like,
to them, I was ready to say, yeah,
yeah,
I was ready to say, yeah, yeah.
yes. So
They're
the thing is,
alone.
they're very good on being alone. That's also, they're determined, also preservant, like, because they're fixed sign, reliable, consistent.
Mhm.
Um, yes, this is what I mentioned in my YouTube video I did for all 12 signs about the full moon. But I'm going to mention this here. I love it. This is from Steve Judd, and he said um, there are three types of Scorpio personalities.
Yeah,
First, you have Scorpio.
yeah.
So be
That's
careful.
one.
They sting you first, and then they talk.
Yeah.
They kind of are lower
Mhm.
developed. They are obsessed about power and control. Then you have Dove Scorpio. They
Dove?
are
I thought it was
loving.
eagle. Or dove? Okay, I never heard. I never
Eagle,
heard the
eagle, eagle,
dove.
eagle is the third one. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
the
I never
Dove
heard the
Scorpio.
dove. Okay, that's interesting.
Dove, so Dove Scorpio, loving, gentle, compassionate, come from the position of strength.
Okay.
Uh, 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 oh yeah, they're more conscious about their vulnerability. Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay. And then Eagle Scorpio, they thrive to inspire. They seek to fly higher and higher. Look for
Hmm.
transformative energy, rebirth, pure, cleaner form of Scorpio. Okay, so which one do you want to be?
Hmm.
Anyway, just a general question.
Yeah,
So those are the three
yeah.
three things, right? Anyway, Yeah, there's a lot of, phobia, paranoias
Yes.
involved here. It's all about trust, depth, and psychology. That's main
Yeah.
three keywords I would say for
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio. So
I agree. I
that
agree.
that
Yeah.
that may
Mm-hmm.
come up this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very like that the whole weekend. Then
The whole weekend.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we are applying, the energies is applying, and we have squares to Mars and Pluto, and then the full moon, Mercury square.
And
Yes,
this
I don't want to repeat
Scorpio
myself.
full moon, the Scorpio moon, I remember Christopher Renstrom in one of his classes saying that I remember the phrase the hard mother. That's the harsh mother, the Scorpio
Mm,
moon mother, because it's the water, but it's hard water. It's
yeah,
she's not the
it's
soft one.
and
She's not, may not be the most cuddly type.
it's
She can be, but
um, what do you call those deep muddy waters, like a swamp? That's
yeah,
Scorpio water,
yeah,
swamp,
right.
deep, dark, not moving,
Murky, yes, right, right. So
murky, right?
So this is what I'm thinking about that is like you mentioned this weekend, it could be a little tough. So you may see some mother energy types may
Mm.
come up with some stuff that they not happy with. They may come out and sting a little bit, saying, "No, I haven't been happy with how you call me once a year or twice a whatever it is, what I
Yeah,
mean, kind of thing."
that
So
yes,
you
that's what
may
I
get
say. So
some of
it's
that.
just yes. So
Hmm
it's gonna yes.
So
Um,
this may because it feels like this, like you said, this is a releasing. I feel like there's a buildup that will a pent up
yes.
situation
Mm-hmm.
that will be
Mm-hmm.
released at the slightest provocation.
Mm.
It could be, oh, I want this. Oh, mommy, we can't. And then phew, rockets red glare. It could be so. Be aware of it, and if it happens, just let it, kind of let it flow,
Yeah,
let
be
it release
mindful.
itself. Be mindful, let
Yeah,
it release itself,
yes,
and
yes.
so on. So
Yeah, I would avoid if you have really any important conversations that you want to have with your mom. Just don't do it now. Like, okay, this
yeah,
Mother's Day. I'm gonna
yeah,
tell. I'm gonna
yeah,
no. Nah,
yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah, if you have any beef or any problems or any,
Yes.
you feel like, oh, you
Yeah.
like my older sister, not me, not Mother's Day. Have that
N-
conversation another
When
time, just
when
one on
when
one.
when Gemini when Gemini season comes on 20th of May, so
Yeah,
in just in 1 week after, it's going to be completely. You can converse, communicate, talk about it,
yeah.
whatever. Just
hmm
wait until the 20th.
Right.
That,
No, I think that's good. That's very good advice,
yes,
actually. Yeah.
yeah. That otherwise, just yeah, it can be hard. The worst part is what I don't like with this mother's relationship with mothers. If is the conversations that you have, like this is what I did for you, and now this is how you talk to me. I don't like that. I don't like this passive aggressive emotional
Yes.
blackmail BS.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
If you didn't do it for, like, first of all, if I was a kid, how did I ask you to do anything for me? That's
hmm
the first. I was a kid, I couldn't ask you. That's the second of all.
Right.
Why did you have me? Third of all, there's so many questions I have with this when I hear these
hmm
conversations that people have with their mothers
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The third of all, if you don't do things from your heart without any,
Right.
I know it's hard, but
You don't do things
that's the
to
way.
get things. In other words, you don't do
Yes,
things for, yeah. So,
you
yeah,
otherwise,
but I also have to
yeah.
acknowledge too. I think some of that, let me say, my generation of mothers, some of that passive aggressivity was
Mm.
because that was the only weapon they had, their only way of actually expressing themselves. I mean, in society, let me put in this country, women really. There was a comedian who said
I know, I know,
it was
I
tough.
know.
So I saw how my mother dealt with my father, and I saw other women. And a
Yeah,
lot of it was passive aggressive because they couldn't come out and say, because they didn't have their own resources, so they couldn't say, "Here's what I want." They couldn't set their own boundaries necessarily because they were
I
powerless.
know, I know, I know.
Um,
But the
I'm
good
not saying
point
that
is
that
that was,
supports it,
but it
but
was
that could be a
then.
reason for we're seeing it.
I
Yeah.
know, but it was then. I think
Yeah, but they
different
raised us.
generations.
They raised us in that atmosphere. So we
Yes,
saw
yes,
that. We saw that. We
yes,
saw how that energy worked, that
yes,
dynamic.
yes,
You know what I mean? This is a man's
yes.
world. So we
Yeah,
saw still how when women
yeah.
actually state their cases, what happens to us.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not supporting. I'm not condoning
No,
it.
no, no,
I'm
no,
just
no, no.
saying we have to
I
understand
understand.
why
Yes.
passive aggressive was one of the skills that we had to master at the
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. I'm just feeling that, each generation needs to bring something different, better, not
Yeah,
to repeat
I don't know what this
the
one's bringing, but I guess they got something they're
from
bringing. I mean, I just don't
from
know, but I guess they got something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
from
yeah.
the previous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something
Mm-hmm.
that is gonna make a difference. Uh, like correct a little bit of previous. How
Yeah.
my grandmother, how was she raised, is different than my mom, than
Mm-hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? So each generation brings a little bit something different that gives maybe a better way.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think a different.
but
Mhm.
I completely understand. Women being in that position through history wasn't
Yeah.
easy.
No, no, and I
No, no,
think
it wasn't easy.
we're having to
Hmm.
we're navigating that now. We're seeing so many old cycles change, and that's why we're
Yeah.
seeing this tumult because we're seeing how there's elections in the world in this country and all over the world. Women are seeing, wait a minute, and we're realizing our power. We were disempowered for so long, disenfranchised.
Mm,
I think that we're starting to realize that, not that we want to run roughshod over any the other group, the males or whatever, but we're starting to
mm,
say we have our own voice too. And so we have to learn. It's going to be rough at the beginning, and it is now rough as we're speaking up and
mm.
saying hell no. So it's not going to be smooth because we're having to break through that ceiling. We're having to sort of establish boundaries that have been so close to us that we couldn't breathe, and we're having to push them out, saying, "Oh no, 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 back it up a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit."
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that'll
yeah,
smooth out in time, but we have to, so that we're taken seriously and that we're heard, and consistently heard.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's part of what this cycle is. I think that's part of what this the Pluto retrograde return showed us, that the patriarchy had it ran its course, and it did
Mm,
Bigfoot over people. It did its thing, but now it's time for another energy to come up and meet. So it's a more shared, balanced, energetic
yeah. Work
expression.
in progress.
Yeah,
It's loading, loading.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That is true. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, women just giving birth, it's a hard, just giving birth physically to put child into the world, it's to be respectful just as is, right? So you
Yes.
cannot disrespect, but
Yeah.
the problem is you were saying is that generationally it comes back from generation, and it's like now it's very hard. I think it's very hard for us now, with the spiritual workers or whatever you want to call us, to kind of make a stop to it, to stop putting, to stop this generational thing. I think we now
Yeah.
have more maybe inner wisdom and power, and just knowledge, because we now can read and write. My grandmother
Yes.
didn't. My grandmother had one
Didn't
of
have.
one of my grandmothers had only 4 grades,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm thinking, so there is this, it's just 100 years ago, right?
This is the first
It's
generation has I think we're
right,
the first. I know I'm the first generation to have access
right,
to a lot of information. You know,
right.
so
So
yeah,
it's very new. It's still very new,
still
because for
very new.
thousands
It's
and
still very
thousands
new.
of years, right?
Yes,
And it was, what is our value and love, and it was nothing. Like women were just treated like
like chattel
a
or property.
that first, and then you just like a baby production
Yes,
factory, like
yes,
and then like a
and
servant,
produce sons,
cook.
preferably
Yeah,
produce sons
yeah,
that are useful.
of
Well,
course,
girls are useful
cook.
too, but for other
Yeah,
things, Hmm. Yeah,
and
no, it was
of
not.
it was hard. You imagine, like, and I'm just thinking, it was. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, like the way, just doing laundry without a washing machine.
No. Oh, I
Imagine,
remember.
and then I'm thinking about all these female things we have each month. I don't want to,
Yes, yes.
doing all that washing and whatever.
Hmm. I know.
It's you can't even, nobody can even, so
No,
I always,
no. Yeah,
we are
yeah.
just recently got some kind of things that can help
Help
us
us and
a
make
little
our
bit.
lives easier.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes,
so
yeah,
there's a lot of work still to do, and you're
yeah,
completely right. So that's why we still have to work on it. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. And we are. I think it's but
mm,
we're having to work on it collectively, but also individually, and also within our familial things too, confines.
mm,
And then there's it's just human nature to want a companion. So
mm,
oftentimes we
mm,
perhaps don't.
Yeah.
honor ourselves within a relationship. So because we do want
Yes.
to compare, it's just a lot, and
Mm,
like I see it and I get it, been there, done it too many
mm,
times, and realize, oh, okay, so and it's and then yeah, we get ourselves in situations, and because we have the kids. Well, so interesting. Years ago, especially in Europe, um, there was a couple who had kids, the divorce happened or whatever, they separated. The
yeah.
husband got the kids. You know what I mean? So he took the kids, and
Yeah.
so now
He had the
we,
money
yes,
because it was
but
like,
now
who
women
is the
keep
provider? Yeah.
women keep the kids, but we got to fight to get the money and fight to get the care or the shared care. So I'm not sure if we actually won anything. I'm not saying you want to give up
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's still
Yeah. Yeah.
not.
Yeah. I know. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
it's just, and I think it's just our design. I don't know how to figure that out any better than what it is with us being, you know. But see, that's where my extraterrestrials will come in. Maybe we can get
Yeah.
another species of.
Did you see that? What I sent you the other day?
Yes.
I thought of you. I thought,
I
oh my
said,
God, this
see,
is so.
see, you guys are laughing at me. But when they come in, then I'm gonna say, see, I told you.
Yeah,
Look at the.
so guys, for you who are listening, they scientists pick up some signal from some faraway dwarf planet that these some kind of signals that somebody's sending to us. I don't know. Sorry, we don't know what it is yet. And I told JeMaja, they're coming,
They're
they're
coming.
coming.
They're coming. Yeah, they heard me. They said, "See, Jasmine is laughing
Yeah,
at us. We're gonna
you
show
know.
her."
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, nobody's taking you seriously now. Now
No,
I am
no
taking
one's
you
taking me
more seriously
seriously.
now.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes,
So they are
yeah,
coming to get us. Well, we'll see how that goes. That's so
yeah.
funny. That was really funny. What
So
else
what are you doing?
happened? What
So what are
else
you doing
happened?
this weekend?
Well, it's Mother's Day, so we're gonna have a nice brunch and spend some time together, and then I also wanted time for myself. I asked for 2 hours peace as well. So after brunch and after we go for ice cream, after that, 2 hours of peace of me time. That's
Yes, it's
gift
just
for
you
me.
time. Yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Well, of course.
that's
No, that is
that's
important to.
part
Yeah,
of my of self-care package. Anyway,
right.
so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're gonna have brunch, and it's gonna be. Hopefully, it's gonna be nice weather this weekend,
Yes.
so it's gonna be good.
Supposed to be nice here. Today is not nice. I mean, not shouldn't say it's not nice. It's rainy and gloomy. So,
Mm,
but it's Sunday. It's supposed to be very nice, 70 degrees, moderate temperatures, and sunny. So that's
yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I like that. It's gonna be
Mm.
good. Yeah, I mean, just take a deep breath. The regular thing that we say.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah. And actually, good. That's a good point you bring up. Breathe,
yeah,
inhale, and exhale before you speak. So if
yeah,
you're getting triggered, deep inhale, exhale, because that gives your brain a chance to disengage and the heart to say, no, no, no,
mm,
don't say it now. Don't say it now.
yeah,
We got this.
yeah, yeah,
Tap
yeah.
your own knee, calm yourself down, and saying, not right now.
Yeah, yeah, because with this Scorpio Taurus energy, it's once you said it, you cannot unsay it anymore, and Scorpio doesn't
No,
forget,
Scorpio
and
doesn't
that's the
forget.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're a trap. They are a trap. They're a steel
yeah,
trap with stuff. Yeah,
when if you can't tell them, oh, I didn't mean like that, forget it.
get it.
The way they heard it, that's it. They're not never going to
Yes.
change their minds.
That's
It's not like, oh,
true.
I
That's
didn't mean it
true.
that way. I
Yes.
meant it. No, no,
No,
forget
no.
it. This is how
Yes.
the way they heard it. It's the truth for them, and forget it. So you need to be very kind
Yes.
of
So
careful.
be a little bit slower in your
Yeah,
response. Take a measured
yeah,
response and ask yourself, does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? And does it need to be said
yeah.
now? You know? And if
Yes,
it
that's
does, can I say it
that's
better? How can I say it so it's, think about it before
yes.
you say, just blurt out something.
That's why I like that Mercury is into Taurus. I know it's going to square Pluto, it's going to be hard, but I like that it's in Taurus because it's going to maybe give us a little bit of time to process
Go through that.
before we
Yes.
before we react. Because I
Yes.
was thinking, if we had Mercury still in Aries, it would be just so. I think you know how it goes.
Yes.
Mercury in
Mercury in
Aries
Aries would be, yeah.
just
Like,
blabs.
yeah,
So
and
yeah,
blowing darts and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, Mercury in fiery signs are they tell it as it is.
yeah,
So all three, uh, Sagittarius especially. Sagittarius is so
really.
blunt, like yeah. Sag
I
Mercury's
don't know many
no tact,
Sagittarius.
no tactics, but Mercury Sag, no tact at
No,
all. Like,
no
what did I
tact.
say wrong? Like, what did
Yeah.
I like? Why? What? It's the truth. It's kind of like so they have
Okay.
no diplomacy
Yeah.
skills whatsoever. They
Oh,
say it is the truth. So it's very funny. So you have to be, when I have. It's always interesting to talk, to other signs to see how they express you
Yeah.
don't with Sag people. You need to understand that they're very honest people.
Right.
They don't have any mean things in them, but just the way they say it can sound mean. Just because they don't have this nice diplomacy or nice little they don't wrap it up in a you
Yes.
know how you wrap how Libra wraps it up in a bow and it's pink and it's glowing. Sage gives you a gift in a paper bag. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
so
someone wrote a question here. How is it different from the Virgo moon mother, Virgo moon like mother? It's a critical mother. Yeah, it can be a
yes,
discerning. I mean, again, I like to think of things in octaves. So there's the higher expression, middle expression, lower
yes,
expression. So and harsh expression or more gentler
yes,
expression. So there's critical, but critical doesn't mean it could mean a lot of things. It could mean overly critical, like you did that wrong, but could mean correcting them to help you get to your best expression
yes,
too. So that's also criticism.
yes.
Um, it's just in how it's expressed and how it's intended and how it's
Yeah,
intended.
with Virgos, they always try to improve things. When you
They
want to
do.
achieve
Yeah. Yeah.
perfection, but that's an illusion. So
Yeah.
until they
Yeah.
realize
Yes.
that you cannot
No.
achieve perfection,
Right.
they're struggling with themselves.
Yes.
So that's why Virgo can be harsh.
Yeah.
Uh,
And let
on
people
a,
they can be a little controlling too. I mean, they
yes,
like to have
they
their
can.
way.
Yes.
They may have a good way and a good idea, but let that person have their way. If it's not going to create
But it's very hard
catastrophe,
for Virgo.
yeah, yeah,
Virgo likes to do it the way they want to do it because they
yes,
feel that it's the best
best
way
way.
to do it. Especially because when you have a moon in Virgo, whoever has a moon in Virgo, these are your emotional security needs. So if somebody else does it differently, your emotional stability just right,
Wow. Yes. Yeah. No.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why they need to kind of do it their own
Simmer
way.
down. It needs to
Yes,
simmer down a little bit.
yes.
That's an old
To,
TV show where they would say,
yeah.
simmer down, simmer down.
to,
Yeah,
to feed
but
their moon, right?
yeah,
So,
yes.
but yeah. Look,
Mhm.
my son has a moon in Scorpio.
Oh,
So my son, how he perceives me, I don't know. I'm trying to give him as much more cuddles and hugs as I
yes,
can. So just because I have this awareness, so
yes,
it helps me. But he doesn't talk much. I have moon in Gemini. I want to talk about everything.
yes.
You
He's
know,
the opposite. He's more laconic. Yeah, he's not as
he
chatty.
doesn't talk.
Mm-mm,
No, when he talks, it's
mm-mm.
very rare, and we have to, he
Ugh.
had this his situation in school the other day. I wanted to understand what happened. Oh my God, it took us 2 hours to talk about it, to figure out what happened, why, it just, I don't know.
I'm
I
so
don't want
glad
to
you're
talk
working
about it.
with him now because see, that's going to
Yes,
be a challenge for his wife later on. Because if it's not help, he's not helped to understand that it's okay to come out to say
yes,
things and to express things, and it's actually necessary to come out and express things to people when you're in a
but
relationship, whether it's your mother, your girlfriend, your brother.
but because Scorpio needs time to build trust. I know
Yes,
that I need to keep. I need to know that he can trust me, even if he does a bad thing. If he knows that
right.
if I don't do it properly, and
Yes.
he gets into his thing and he doesn't want to share anything with me in the future because he will feel that I'm going to be mad or I'm
He
going to be
remembered your
then I'm going to
reaction.
screw up. I'm going to screw up the whole thing. So
Yes,
now I need
yes.
to think, okay, he needs to trust me. He needs that for his emotional security. I cannot push
No,
him
you
too
cannot push
much.
him.
I
Can't
need to
push
give
him.
him space. I
Yes.
need to be patient. I need him to trust me, even if he does something bad, that he can always come to me and reach. So I need to build that, and that is something with Scorpio moons that it needs time. Like my Gemini moons,
Yes.
so I mean, he came to my life to teach me
Yeah.
something as well. This is another thing,
Hmm.
right?
And what
Different
moon? What's your
approach.
husband's moon? What's your husband's moon?
Leo, Leo.
Okay. All right.
So he's a drama queen. I call him. He
He's a
always.
DQ.
I'm not.
He's a
I
DQ
I
drama queen.
I I call him a drama. He's like, I'm not a drama. I'm not. He was like this. I am not
Oh,
dramatic. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait.
What was that? Yes. Oh, that's funny.
That is
Oh,
so funny. Anyway, but but they both have fixed moons, and I'm the mutable one. I'm the most mutable in the family, so I kind of need to,
yes.
you know,
You sort of, yeah.
astrology. Yeah, astrology is such a great gift. I'm so happy that I have astrology in my life to help me be a better wife, a better parent, a better whatever,
Colleague.
because
Yep.
it's
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have so much more understanding for people.
Yeah, because
And then
psychology to me, I mean,
yeah,
astrology is to me a star is cosmic psychology. We're
yes,
learning about
yes.
how we're constructed and how we engage with ourselves, with each other. It's
Yes.
invaluable. It's
If
invaluable.
if I didn't have astrology, I would feel that I'm the worst mother ever. I tell you right away because I know how, I would feel that I don't know. Anyway, it's just anyways. So guys, I recommend you, highly recommend that you explore your own chart and chart of your closed ones, just at least moons, if nothing else. And moons are emotional needs, and to have a good relationship with somebody, you need to understand what are their emotional needs, what makes them feel safe and secure, right?
Yes.
And what they
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
on an emotional level,
Mm-hmm.
because intellectual conversations, it's not logical, it doesn't make sense. That's nothing to do with moon,
Mm-mm.
nothing, right? So yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I know,
this
I
makes
know. Moon in Leo, for example, my husband, Moon in Leo, they need a lot of affection
they do. They
and
would, I would say that. They would be affectionate too, right? They're affectionate,
yes,
aren't they?
yes, they
Mm-hmm.
also, but they also need
Mm-hmm.
it, So you cannot. So I have a kid and a Leo Moon husband.
Yeah.
So I need to
Oh, that's
split the
too funny.
attention, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
All right.
yes, yeah,
Because it's important. But I know that if I didn't know that, I would just tell him, yeah, we have kid now. Who cares? We
yes,
can't. It's not like that.
yes.
It's so
No.
so,
Yeah.
But such a generous Leo Moon, such a generous, warm-hearted, a very
Mm.
it's like his hugs are the best. Seem like it's very
Oh,
anyway. I always tell him, what is the best? When somebody asks me, what is the best place in the world to be? I said, my husband's hug. It's such
oh, that's
it's a
sweet. Yes.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
the protective
Yes.
Leo kind of
Protective Leo, and they
warm,
give of themselves.
heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh,
beautiful.
that's
So,
wonderful.
so on the other hand, so he's more affectionate. He needs more validation and affection. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Right. Right.
everybody. Yeah, I need to be. Sometimes I need to be like I like to talk about everything with Gemini Moon, and I need to be listened to. So
Right.
he has also patience to listen to me all the time yapping about everything that happened. Like who cares? Like, he doesn't even care for half of the things that I say probably because I need to share everything.
Right. Right.
From what happened to the grocery store to what happened at work to what happened here. This is my Gemini moon. I need
Now,
to talk about
what's your
everything.
rising? What's your rising?
Virgo,
Oh,
Virgo.
Oh, Mercury. That's right, Mercury. You're Mercury.
Yeah,
You're a Mercury
I'm
baby. I
Mercury.
forgot.
I'm
Yes.
Mercury. Yeah, yeah. So, so he's actually pretty good. Has lots of patience to. But he always tells me if it's really important, make sure I pay attention.
Oh,
he's,
because
he's,
he knows
he's so
he knows.
yeah, he's so cute. He's like, if it's really just making sure.
Yes. Oh, that's
He's
good.
so funny.
But
He's so
it's
funny.
good that you get that. See, because otherwise
I
you would be
get it.
offended, as opposed
No,
to
no,
But
I
so he
get
does
it.
give you an audience, but he's not actually tracking everything. But if it's
Yeah,
important,
because he
then he'll
can't. Like,
listen.
no,
Yes. No, it's too much.
I exactly. I'm totally realistic that it's too much
Yeah.
to listen to
Yeah.
my blabbing all the
Yeah.
time.
The Geminis, we can really go at it, and
Oh my
another Gemini,
God.
we enjoy that, but most people can't take us that long. Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
So
If it's really
that's funny.
important, make sure you
Yeah.
said it's really important. Make sure I'm listening.
I
Oh, I love
I pay
that.
attention.
I
No,
pay
I pay
attention. I
attention.
like
Yeah.
that. That's so good. But see, that's a good awareness on him. That's good
Yes.
awareness from his part too. You know what I
Because
mean?
he
'Cause-
also knows astrology because now he needs to know.
yes,
Actually, he's pretty good. To be honest, very good. He knows a lot now. He just
really
because he
good.
actually did listen. He does listen to me.
Yes, he does listen to you. Yeah. Oh, he does. Yeah, I could tell by I met him and
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
So
it's cute. Anyway, guys, I talked about a lot of personal things today. There you go.
no, this is good. We got
So I
to
hope,
share
yeah,
about ourselves,
yes,
So
yes.
and whatnot. So
I
I want you to have a good weekend.
Yes, thank you. You too. I hope you're gonna spend some time with somebody as well who you nurture, appreciate, and who nurtures and appreciates you. You know,
No,
because
yeah, I
I
wish I
think
had that. Nope, nobody now. But yeah,
a
maybe one day.
friend, a sister, a niece, somebody.
Yeah.
Don't make me. I'm gonna come to New York this
Yeah,
weekend. Don't make me.
yeah.
No, but I hope you have
Oh,
something. It's gonna be a nice
yeah.
weekend that you're gonna have
I think I'm
somebody
just
that.
gonna. If it's nice, I think I'm gonna chill out a little bit. Like I may go into my community garden. Long story,
Yes.
because I think we can't really do much in it, but I just may go there and do some stuff in it anyway, and just to
Yeah.
be around nature. Yeah.
I like that. Yes, go do
Hmm.
some, pick
Yeah.
flowers or do
Yeah. Yeah.
something,
Yes.
something that,
Just do
yes,
some
it's
putting
gonna be
around.
lovely.
Yeah. Hmm.
I like that. I like that.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. I hang in there. This week is tough, but after that, we are coming to a much better place.
Thank
Uh,
you.
we, we're gonna celebrate Gemini season this year because it's very nice,
And
and
we're both Geminis.
we're about Gemini, so we're gonna celebrate extra. I think we're gonna do it
Yes.
here with JeMaja. We're gonna do it.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for being here and supporting us. And as Christopher Ransom would say, mucho
Yeah,
amore.
mucho, mucho
You
amor.
know how he goes,
Yeah.
he
Yes, he
goes
does
like
say
that.
that. Yes. All
Anyways,
righty. I'll
bye
talk to you.
bye. Thank you
Bye
so much.
bye. Talk
Talk
to you
soon.
Friday. Bye bye.